Me. I'm here with Sarah.
Hi, beautiful people.
Sarah is the head of brand for MContent. She's been a part of the core team since February. Maybe you can give a little bit about yourself and your history.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Ryan said, I've been part of the core MContent team since February. And I have around 12 years of experience building brands throughout the region, mainly focused on app-based brands such as Kareem, STC, The Entertainer, Do, as well as others such as Haagen-Dazs Ice Cream or Peugeot or Movenpick Hotels. So I have a lot of experience building brands regionally and some internationally as well.
Amazing. We have her here because we want to talk about what's happening with MContent, what's happening with rebranding. And I want to say that, we started off with MContent just being a brand, just an idea. Right now we're at a point in our company where we're doing the rebranding. It's, something scalable, something huge for us. Just because it's, we started off as MContent, it's always been all of our project. Like it's my project as much as it is yours. And we're taking this step to go to the next level to be a global brand, so we're really excited about it. I'll ask Sarah a few questions, have her answer, and then we'll get some feedback from the community. If you guys have questions, we have your chat live.
Woo!
Also, it's nice seeing some of you. Crypto Minnows in here, some of the team. I saw Gio earlier as well. Thank you guys for joining. Just remember, you can always find us on our socials. Keep track with those. Cool. So, Sarah.
Ryan.
Why is branding important? Why is rebranding important too?
Well, branding is extremely important. The main reason is because the brand is how companies develop a personality in order to connect with audiences and with consumers. Without brand, a company, no matter what company it is, it could be a fizzy drink company, or it could be a Web3 company or a holding company. Without a brand, it's just an entity in itself. But when you create a personality and when you create a brand, you're able to signal to your audiences and to customers what you believe in, who you are if you were a person. And in doing so, you help different audiences align their beliefs and behaviors to you as a brand as well, especially the younger generation. We're talking about, the Gen Z and millennials. We all buy brands and use brands which align to what we believe on a personal level about the world. And currently as well, we live in an era of what I like to call glass box brands. So in the past, it was these black boxes that brands were. So brands could say anything they wanted out into the world, and no one had an idea of how to check if what they were saying was true. So there was a lot of manipulation, there was a lot of inauthenticity, and people ended up losing trust in brands. But now, because of the wonderful thing that is the internet and social media, people started to see, actually, hold on, company is saying this, but you're actually acting like this. And the consumers started to hold brands accountable for their behavior, and this has kind of created this major shift. And why branding is so important these days, because of this major shift, because we know exactly what's going on, is to help build authenticity and to help gain consumer trust as well.
Yeah, it's kind of cool with the internet. It's like you get feedback on a massive scale from everybody.
Yeah.
Because everyone's so connected. So it's very interesting about holding brands accountable.
You have to. It's like brands have to align with certain societal or environmental or whatever causes. I mean, everyone remembers the Nike campaign with Colin Kaepernick, for example. And this was Nike taking a stand, against the NFL and against, how he was treated, and saying, we stand for this. And then all brands started to follow suit, because what you say as a company, if you do something else, even in your internal culture, employees are going to write about it on Glassdoor, people are going to know, and they're going to see right through you, and you're going to completely lose your trust. So in developing a brand, one of the most important things is that you stay true to actually who you are and what you can deliver on. There's no point saying these big words without actually having the backing or the resources to actually deliver on them, or else you just lose trust and you look authentic.
And I think this has changed a lot with the younger generation.
Yeah.
They're really, it's so important to them to have to be true to your brand, like you mentioned with, like whether it's a political thing or it's really a cultural thing tied up into brands. It's not just like a picture and a name anymore.
No, I mean, the brand is how people interact with you at every single touch point. It's not just visual, it's also about how you speak as a brand. What is your tone of voice? What is your UI and UX? Depending on what brand you are, you have multiple different touch points with your customers, with your consumers. And your brand is how you deliver on that experience at every single touch point on a consistent basis. Brands are built daily, not in a day. And it's, imagine someone's personality and someone as a person. Like you, Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
you have the way you look, you
Right.
have the way you dress, you have the way you talk, and you
Right.
have your own belief system which influences your behaviors and what you do in life. It's the same with a brand.
Right.
So everything has to be aligned, and that's what builds a strong brand.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. What are we trying to convey with the new MContent brand?
That is a great question.
Yeah?
It's a very exciting question, people. I think what we're trying to convey with the new MContent brand is that we really went back to our roots. And what are our roots? Our roots are in decentralization and Web3. So when we're looking back at decentralization and Web3, we all remember Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper and the massive storm and change that created in the world after. This simple concept of blockchain and this simple concept of decentralization, of giving power back to people in a decentralized way instead of having centralized institutions which, don't tell us things and control us and keep everything for themselves, and it wasn't a fair system. And when blockchain happened and when decentralization has become mainstream, it's like every industry is moving into this. Why? Because it's a fairer, more democratic way to give back and to give back to your community and to actually be a company as well. And the fundamental root of that is in power to everyone, right? So everyone is empowered and everyone is trusted. It's like instead of centralized institutions not trusting us, you give everyone trust by trusting the whole community as a whole. And we went back to that and then created our new brand, which you're going to see very soon, based on that concept and going back to who we truly are as a Web3 company.
Yeah, I always explain Web3 like this. I always explain like Web 1 was the internet version when it was just read only, and then Web 2 was when you could read and write, you could transfer information. But Web 3 is ownership, and I think one project or company that reflects that is us, because we are giving power to the viewer, we're giving funding, we're making important stories out there. We have this community that votes who gets the funding, everything like that, and I'm really happy that we're going to have a brand that truly reflects the Web3 aspect of our company. I think it's amazing. What steps did we take to create the new brand? What all went into it?
Oh gosh, it was very
I know
long.
some of it, but
yeah. It was a bit of a long process, but it was a really exciting one. So we did a lot. The main thing we did first of all is that we did a massive workshop, like half a day with the whole of the MContent team. We got everyone together in a room and we did a massive brainstorming session and workshop on a few things. What do we believe in? What is our personality? What are our brand archetypes? What is our purpose? How, the classic Simon Sinek, like how are we making the world a better place? Why do we exist above and beyond making money? What should be our beliefs and behaviors about how we act? Because every single member of the team had some really core and interesting insights which are relevant and experience, obviously, in building the brand so far and getting MContent to where it is today. So we did this massive workshop. We debated, we shouted at each other, we had some fights, we got everything out on the table. It was messy, but at the end of it, we had, a good direction of what we wanted to go in. And then we did some research. Obviously, research is very important into different industry trends within the Web3 space and our competitor. We don't really have competitors as such,
Right.
but we have, Web 2 competitors, let's say, who we looked at. And also we started to really define our target audience and who we want to appeal to and who are we actually speaking to as a brand. So after that, and a lot of debating and a lot of, very long hours, we created our brand strategy. And then after that, we then carried on with the visual and verbal expression of that strategy. So from a logo and visual system and guideline design and a tone of voice indicating how we speak as well, which all came from the strategy. And then figuring out how to roll that out across everything and make sure it really is infused in every single aspect of every single experience that you will have with us in the future, including communications, internal, platform, etc., etc.
Before this, I had no idea the amount of work and different pieces that went into branding. I had no idea.
So my job is very hard.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okie dokie.
When is this happening? Can the community expect the rebranding? Is there anything set?
Well, this is a tough question. I think what I can tell the community is that changes are coming. They're coming sooner than you may think. And all I would say is if you are interested, because it's also relevant to you, you're invested in our company, and this rebrand is going to elevate us on a whole new level. And so if you are interested in knowing about what's happening, I would just say stay tuned, check all of our channels, and you're going to hear something very soon.
Awesome. And just a reminder to talk about that a little more. It's not a one-day process. It's an ongoing process for this. Of course, there'll be a time where, I guess it's very soon, where everyone knows about it. But the branding process is not just a one-day process. There'll be like a soft launch, a testing period when the new app is out. And a lot of that is because we want your feedback. Like I started off this AMA, it's not just our project. I've always said this, I've said this in every AMA, it's all of our projects together. We all have a stake in this, we all want it to be successful. So it's a good time for us to get feedback from you guys, which is super important to us, it always has been.
Yeah, we wouldn't be like a Web3 company if we didn't really value and listen to our community. And that's kind of, like I mentioned earlier, it's the core of why we rebranded in the first place and how we developed our strategy. We thought about our community and how we can deliver best to you, because you're the ones at the end of the day who deserve this, and we want to make sure that we're being the best version of ourselves that we possibly can be. And we really hope that you're going to be happy about everything, and I'm sure you will be. It takes it to a whole new level.
I mean, I'm excited about it, really, So I think everyone will be excited about it as well. What portion of the rebrand are you most excited about?
I think the reaction of the community. I think I'm so excited after working on this for so long now, I think what makes me most excited is just seeing the community's reaction and, seeing how this is gonna take off and the amount of positivity and great things that are gonna come to this, because this rebrand is way closer to who we are as a company, and it's very focused, and it will elevate us on a regional, global level. So I'm excited about how the community is going to react to it the most. What are you excited about?
I think it's not, we can't talk about what it is, but as far as the branding, having an audio portion to it, like a sonic branding portion, I think is so cool, because we've never had this. I think that's my favorite part. Whenever that happens along the steps, I'm very excited about that.
Great.
Yeah.
Exciting.
It's awesome, because every major brand that's scalable, that's huge, has one. And you don't think about it, you just hear it and you're like, oh, that's what that is.
Of course. And it's not even that, in the future as well, it's we have to think about, how do we, if we have an Alexa, a virtual assistant, how do we talk as a brand as well? Brand is so much more. It's about how you are vocal, how you are as you sound in your sonic, how you look, the tone of voice. It encompasses so much. So it's really interesting.
Awesome. Okay, we'll take a few questions from the community. So if you guys have questions, write them now. I see Devil's Wills. Do I have to do something with my token? No, you don't have to touch anything with your tokens. everything is fine how it is. You're in a great position. Just enjoy the new platform when it's out. Enjoy this rebranding. You guys are gonna love it. It's amazing. I saw Crypto Minnow during this, was asking about the branding and what the name should be. I think this guy has inside info. Every time, man, this guy knows what's going on. I'm pretty positive. Nice, coming soon. Thanks, AMA. If you guys have any other questions, I'm so happy about MContent is coming up with. Massively convinced it's going to be extremely huge. Amen, we will agree. We'll delay the NFT launch. Great question. Currently, we're pushing the NFT launches after the rebranding and the project launch. You know, we're shifting our focus on this, which is our utility. It's super important to us, but we haven't forgot about any NFT launches and what's happening with that. He said, don't worry, I signed a non-disclosure of sorts.
Of sorts.
Of sorts, you know. Something like one, you know.
Okay.
Awesome, guys. Any other questions? We'll give it a few minutes. And just so you guys know, we have a ton of AMAs lined up over the next couple of weeks. I think there's like 12 of them. They're going to be always at this time, 1 p.m. UTC. We'll have different people from the team. There's people you guys haven't met yet. We'll have them on video. We're really excited about that. Each of those people will talk about what they're bringing to the team, to the project, and how they're going to grow MContent to a global scale. Officially broadcasting World Cup. We're not officially broadcasting, but I think we're working on content. You just have to check the socials. We do have something coming up with that. So just stay tuned, guys.
I actually have a question for you guys who are listening in. What are you most excited about this rebrand? Please, someone answer me.
See if there's any more questions. Or let us know what you're excited about. Yeah, I think that's all. Go to the bottom again.
Everything. Yes.
Oh, the name.
The name is gonna blow your mind, Crypto Minnow.
Yeah, Crypto Minnow. He's been a long supporter of MContent.
A minnow is a small fish.
It is a small fish. And the Crypto Minnow, didn't you meet some of the team in France? Yeah, I think so. I love the lady. She's so energetic, and I think we must have her in most AMAs.
Oh, thank you, the vlog. That's so nice. I would love to be in more.
Oh, we're never gonna hear the end of it now. To be recognized, a unique DNA.
It will be totally new level. Promise you guys.
TJ was tight-lipped though, unfortunately. He actually has an NDA, not one scribbled on a napkin. Guys, we've hit about our 20-minute mark. We're pumping these AMAs out, so we don't want to get long-winded. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you for being here. I hope you're as excited as we are about this rebranding and everything that's happening with our project. Sarah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Obviously, I'm needed for more.
Yeah, I guess so. Awesome. Do you want to say anything else before we get out of here?
No, I'd like to say thanks to all of our community, and we're very happy to serve you all.
Awesome.